being the best version of yourself, doing the best you can today. That's what it's all about here on Laps Down. What are you up to today, MJ?
I'm nothing. I worked. No, thank you for asking. I actually worked all weekend and then I also worked today, so I feel kind of like it's Wednesday. It's not. And then I got home from work and I posted a single picture on Instagram. It's just a new thing I'm trying out.
Yeah,
We're
you're really
down
brave.
with the carousels.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's like so much pressure. It's like not only do you have to post everything as like a photo dump on Instagram these days, it also has to all be like artsy and like well produced, or it has to be like so like quirky girl, funny meme. Yeah.
And it's like your night out, but then it's also like a meme that I don't recognize. And I don't have it in me anymore. When I do anything like where I get dressed up and I take like a nice picture, it's like that's actually the only picture I took the whole entire night. Like, that's it. I can't just pull pictures of, like, drinks and lights outside and street lamps. I can't pull them out of nowhere. So we're going back to casual Instagram. This is me giving everyone permission to go back to casual Instagram.
You are so brave sometimes. You know what I mean? It's, like, really admirable.
Stop.
So, what's up? Welcome back to Laps Down Podcast. My name is Andrea. What's your name?
That would make me MJ.
Yeah, we just got to get that out of the way. You know what I mean? Speaking of admin stuff, you know, be sure to give us a 5-star review. If you haven't, follow us on whatever platform you want. Maybe YouTube could be fun if you want to hop on there. We're kind of close to 200 subscribers, which like for most people wouldn't be that big of a deal. But for us, it's like one step closer to the dream. The dream being a plaque for the studio. We know that.
Sure. How many do we have to get a plaque?
A couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
200 maybe.
Maybe. Do you guys make 200 plaques? No, not 200,000. Just 200. Dude, what's stopping me from making like a counterfeit fucking plaque?
I was just thinking that. I was like, it would be really funny to surprise Andrea with like a fake plaque for 200.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, what's stopping us? Like, do you have to fucking get an approval by the Treasury or some shit to make a fake fucking YouTube plaque? No. Anybody can do it.
We get one off of Etsy.
Also, it's like, honestly, I was listening back to an older episode and we mentioned it in like literally like episode 3 or something. We're like, we're going to get a plaque someday. So it's kind of been on the to-do list for a while.
A plaque, a studio. We're going to interview Denny Hamlin, all those things.
It's all coming together. Also, speaking of interview, we did an interview. We were the interviewees of an interview done by the wonderful Lap It Like It's Hot podcast, who are very much part of the, you know, IndyCar universe of Laps Down. We love their podcast, and they're also just like super freaking cool. They've been watching IndyCar for a good while. They've been doing the IndyCar. They do just IndyCar on their podcast, but we're going to try to convince them to watch, you know, NASCAR. So we talk a little bit about NASCAR in that too. And you guys should check it out. We'll have it linked in the show notes if you guys want to listen. And I believe it's also on like Spotify and stuff like that. If you guys don't use YouTube for your podcasting, just look up Lap It Like It's Hot. I'm sure they're on Apple and stuff too. I just listen to them on Spotify.
I listen to them on Spotify or YouTube, but I'm sure they're on Apple.
Surely. If not, girls, what are we doing? We'll get you on Apple. Don't even worry about it. But it was actually a lot of fun. And I do think that we've had like a couple more people join the Laps Down universe since the last time we are being interviewed. So if you're wondering what the origin story of Laps Down is, that's a good place. We do cover the origin story of Laps Down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And many other things. So check that out. Do you want to talk about motorsport? Or are you like busy?
Like on this podcast? Wait, which podcast is this? Is this this is the motorsport podcast?
Right.
Not the other podcast we have.
No, not the other podcast.
Where we talk about musicals and WWE and Monster Jam.
Correct, yeah. That one stays in the drafts. We haven't posted that one yet. So yeah, this is the motorsports one. Are you free? Is now a good time to talk about like maybe F1? I can start with F1 maybe.
Yeah, now's a good time for F1.
Okay, glad we could find a time on your schedule that works. She's been working a lot, guys. She's super busy. Okay, so I don't know if you've been following. There's been like literally hardly anything going on in F1 this week, but there was like one argument that we were just like persistently being forced to reconcile with. And so I guess it's best that we just like get our thoughts out there and out of the way. So in the last race, there was like this big hubbub about a bunch of stuff not being shown on screen. And instead they showed a bunch of clips of like people in the garages, you know, family and like girlfriends and wives and stuff of the drivers. And then Carlos Sainz was asked about it in an interview, and he kind of said, like, I get, like, people like seeing that kind of stuff, and, like, that's, like, kind of what the new thing in F1 is, but, like, I do wish some of my super cool shit was shown on TV, which, like, honestly, that is so fair. Like, if I was, like, doing cool stuff, I'd be like, are y'all getting this? Or surely you guys are getting this. You guys are really getting this, right? Because I'm doing some crazy stuff out here. But it did kind of spark, like, a debate. I think it like can teeter sometimes into like very pick me territory very easily, very like weird misogynistic territory very easily. I think some of this comes sometimes like just the perception of women fans that are now into F1. I will say like personally, I don't really like notice like, oh, there's an exorbitant amount of clips being shown of people in the garage. Like I've never been like, this is too many. There has been times like during qualifying where I've been like, there's no way you're showing me this right now. Like we literally have somebody out there doing like the pole lap. Like this is crazy. But like, it's never been enough to bother me. I think what bothers me is like the perception of like, and I've heard people say this like in F1 that like this is what the fans want to see. Like people want F1 to be like a reality show. They want to know like who their girlfriends and their wives and their family and stuff are. And I just feel like I personally have never really seen anybody speak about it positively. So I'm not really sure where that perception comes from. And I feel like it's weirdly misogynistic because I've seen people be like, this is what like women fans want to see. And I'm like, that's so weird. Have you guys ever talked to a woman? I've not really been hearing that on the streets.
The people who are talking about this ad nauseum on Twitter have never talked to a woman. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
You could go back in our episodes and we've talked about like, hey, dumbasses, show us the cars. Show us the car that is currently on a flying lap. Show us the cars that are doing the overtake. I always think it's interesting when it becomes an issue that people care about, but specifically because they're showing the WAGs, which I'm like, at the end of the day, I hate the term WAGs, but it's like, you weren't mad about it until suddenly we were seeing like women on the screen, and now it's like, whoa, like I know I've been missing overtakes, and like the F1 broadcasts are famously very bad at showing us on-track action, but like I'll be damned if I see a wife or a girlfriend or a grandma, heaven for fucking bid. I also think this is just such a non-conversation because it happens in every motorsport where it's like not necessarily that we see in the garage because most of them, they don't have garages like that. No, they don't have F1 garage. NASCAR does not have F1 garage.
Most of the like significant others in like IndyCar and NASCAR, I think are like literally just like in a bus in the infield watching on a TV.
They're either there or they're in like the pit box, and we see like, do you know how many times we saw the pit box like last race? But it's just showing us dudes. But there is on-track action going on, and we're looking at the pit box, but it's like, oh, but it's fine because it's just like showing us dudes. And that's fine. It's fine with me if I miss the on-track action to see a dude. But I don't want to, this WAG TV.
None of these girls in their freaking dresses and stuff. I've had about enough. And I will say it's worth acknowledging, like, there is sometimes a story to be told now there. Like, if it's just like, somebody in the garage just literally staring off into space, then I probably wouldn't cut to that camera. But like sometimes it does add to the tension. Like when you see like, you know, after, for example, like Charles won in Monaco and they like cut to like the suite that like his family was in, and you see like his like parents and his girlfriend and everybody's like crying, and it's like that adds to the emotion you're feeling as a viewer. There's a time and place for it. I think James Hinchcliffe talked on his podcast about like, it's so much easier said than done. Like, it's really hard for them to have like when you're playing like a sport like baseball or something like that, like what you're showing is just like, here's where the baseball goes. You know what I mean? Like, take your camera and point it at the baseball,
right,
and you're doing a good
like
job of capturing the race or the game.
There's one central point of action. When you get into these races where there's 20 different cars, there's going to be like, what, 50, 60 overtakes total in a race. It's like, it's going to be hard to catch them all. However, yeah, and I mean, there's something to be said, like some races, there's simply nothing to show on the track. So it's like when we go to Monaco, it's like, yeah, show me the odds.
You're gonna have to see a girlfriend or two. It's Monaco.
Sorry.
There's nothing here. Sorry.
But no, it is difficult, and I'll give them that. But you'd think after like what, so many years of doing this, if they would notice like patterns of cars. Like if you see like Carlos Sainz specifically, what he's talking about is he did like 10 overtakes and nobody showed any of them. But like when you see something like that, I sure would hope, and I don't know how TV broadcasting, but like I would hope someone would be tapping at you going, hey,
there's something
check
over here.
55. I think something's going to happen. We don't need to see the guys in the front anymore. Nothing's happening there. So I get the frustrations, but I think pointing the fingers and being like, wags.
There's something about the tone people take when it's wags in particular. I'm like, you're not talking about the garage. You're talking about special type of woman you don't want to see anymore.
And when you say this is what the DTS fans want, we know you're not talking about people who got into the sport through DTS. You're talking about women.
You're talking about young women who recently started watching the sport, and you think that that's what we want to see. Now what? Now what? Yeah, you guys suck. I also will say, like, there is something interesting about, like, there is, like, a subset of fans that are, like, really young, I would say. Like, I'm thinking, like, teenagers who they do like the WAG culture. And, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Leave them alone. They're fucking 14-year-olds. Let them watch the sport for whatever the fuck they want to watch it for. They're like 14-year-old girls. And if they think that the girlfriend of Charles Leclerc is wearing a really cute outfit, okay. And what about it? How does that hurt you at all?
Yeah, it's just not that deep, in my personal opinion. Not to mention these women have, like, a lot of them are models, so they're, like, recognizable people. Like, when they wear a fit, it's like, oh, like, they're wearing a fit. Like, there is something to be said about that. This is such a non-issue to me. I think we shouldn't be wasting this time talking about the WAGs, and we should continue to talk about Zach Brown and how he's embarrassing and how he's weird and how he did that thing on Wheel of Fortune. Like, there's so many better places we could be directing our frustration.
Yeah. We can talk about Zach Brown in a second if you want, but first, we do have to talk about apparently, they're doing a deal with Apple TV for F1 streaming rights in the US of A. And most people think that would probably mean the end of F1 TV because that's what has been done previously in like other countries. I think like Canal Plus has a deal in France. So people in France can't use like F1 TV and stuff like that. I'm distraught. I'm disturbed. I'm devastated. I'm disgusted, really. I mean, I can't imagine a world without F1 TV, and I can't imagine what dog poo-poo they're cooking up for Apple TV. That's on one streaming service I don't own, and I don't own it happily. I really don't care what they're doing over there. And I can only imagine what number they're going to cook up as the number I have to pay for this membership.
I'm worried about the broadcast team. That's what I'm worried about. Because we're not going to get James Hinchcliffe because that man is married to F1 TV. I could see us sliding an offer sheet, me and Apple TV, to Danica Patrick and being like, what do the Americans want? We don't know anything about racing. The only thing we've actually seen is the F1 movie, and we assume that captured it pretty well. So they probably want Danica Patrick.
And Brad Pitt,
probably. Jacques Villeneuve.
Dude, we're going to get that annoying-ass guy. What's his name? Dax Shepard or whatever?
He doesn't really watch F1 anymore. He watches MotoGP. MotoGP.
Claire, where are you?
I miss you so bad, Claire.
Guys, if you don't know who we're talking about, Claire's this absolute angel who we used to like see her TikToks all the time. We were mutuals with her, but she got a job and she doesn't make TikToks as much anymore. But
she has her dream job, I think, working in motorsport. But she always used to go, MotoGP.
Here's what you guys miss on MotoGP. And I used to watch every single TikTok. I didn't learn anything from it, unfortunately. I just really liked your vibe.
I tried to. That's my favorite thing about motorsport TikTok is like I'll find someone, I'll become mutuals with them, and then I'll realize like I don't watch the motorsport you're watching, but I watch all of your content. Like with Claire, I would do that. Mary Lozo, I do that. Buddy Pulley. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but boy, am I clocked in for just this portion of it.
Dude, what dream collab, Buddy Pulley and Claire.
Oh, yeah, wait.
How would you even say Cars Tour in a French accent? You know what I mean? Gotta cook that up. Buddy, if you're listening, we got a friend for you. You're gonna love her. But anywho, what were we talking about?
Apple TV.
Oh, I think, they're gonna cook something up horrible. The thing about Apple TV that's interesting is the whole thing is like tax fraud, I've heard. So they basically sink like a bunch of money into productions on their like streaming service that like they're not making a profit on any of their shows. Their shows are so highly produced. They're paying for like these A-list actors and celebrities, but they never like advertise any of their shows because they really frankly don't care if you watch them because they are making it because it'll like sink their profits as like an overall company. So they don't have to pay as much in like taxes and stuff like that. This is what I've heard, allegedly. And so all of this is to say, I think that they will have a lot of money for this commentating team. So we got to think like who the most like awesome, like horribly expensive people would be. And like, I'm kind of thinking like, how much could Lee Diffie cost? Probably $1 bajillion, right? So maybe we'll get lucky
Lee
and
Diffie,
they'll go big
Steve
with the budget. Yeah,
Dale Jr. Because they only do and they only do like a portion of the NASCAR calendar because it's on so many different platforms. Yeah. So like they've all got free. I think what you do one stint in NASCAR and then they ship you off to Apple TV.
F1 TV. Yeah.
To Apple TV on F1. F1 on Apple TV.
Right. No, that was super clear. I'm glad we got our point across.
Clint Boyer is not allowed to go. Joey Logano, fine. He can do F2 commentary. Because
oh my God, I'm going to have to get how am I going to watch F2? Because there's no way they're going to put F2 on Apple TV, but then F1 TV is going to be banned.
I think you're probably going to have to watch it on ESPN. Right?
No, ESPN's not going to have any rights. I think we're just not going to be able to watch F1 or F2.
Well, but won't Sky Sports still be on ESPN?
No, that's the thing, is that like they're completely dropping that.
So
that's what's up at the end of this week. Or at the end of this week. At the end of this year, that's what's up. At the end of this week. Guys, I don't know how you guys are going to watch Coda.
To rebrand?
To who? F1?
Should we just get rid of F1 and we could be like a NASCAR IndyCar part? We just go full American IMSA NASCAR IndyCar?
The thing is that I can't break up with F1. She's like kind of like my first situationship, you know what I mean? Like even though I found better love elsewhere, you really can never get over your first love.
I think for the right price I would have to break up with F1 depending on how much they're going to charge us for this. If it's over,
what if they sponsor us? Like they give us like a free account to continue to talk about F1 on our podcast.
Just one account? Is it only going to work in one household? Are we going to have to move in together?
Don't tempt me with a good time. I think we could convince them 2 passwords, 1 account.
Okay. I'd be down
So
for that.
that way
Because, like,
there's like 2 users.
Flow, I tried to watch Flow Racing. I was like, fine,
Dude,
I'll
every
just bite
time
the
you
bullet.
say that, I'm sorry, every time you say that, I think
The
we're talking
period
about
app.
a period app. I think we're talking
No.
about a period app. And I'm like, dude, MJ.
Yeah, Flow
we
Racing,
we
the
have
period
men
app.
that listen to this. They don't know periods exist. You can't tell them.
It's like $40 a month for Flow. I mean this lovingly. No, I can't do it. Like, I literally, and I'm so irresponsible with my money that I almost did, but like, I really can't justify $40 a month to watch. I mean, just whatever. So it would have to be, what's a reasonable price, like, monthly? I think any more than $12, I'm not doing it.
I think like 15.
Yeah.
And it needs to have everything. Like, if Apple TV comes out and I don't have a pre-show, a race, a post-show, if I don't have all of the F2 races, all of the F3 races, all of the F1 Academy races, if I don't have all of that, then it's not even worth that.
My big thing is that archive. I used to go back and rewatch races all the time. Like, I don't care about the pre-show. I don't really care about the post-show. But it's like, where am I going to find all those races in the archive? Because most of them aren't on YouTube.
You don't watch the pre-show and the post-show? That's my favorite part.
I've famously never watched. Sometimes I'll watch the post-show if I'm, like, getting ready to do something right after. But, like, I don't care what's happening before the race. That's none of my business.
Dude, you're lost.
I rarely even watch qualifying or practice.
That's fair. I did turn you on to the weekend warm-up, though.
I have watched one weekend warm-up, and that was fun.
They post those on YouTube, so they won't be gone forever for me.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. They'll be light in the world in some way, somehow. We'll find a way to push through. Transitioning into IndyCar, but kind of keeping on the F1 theme, do we want to talk about Zach Brown? Because we've gotten more from the lawsuit. I know. But it's fun because we're kind of all shitting on him at this point. So, like, isn't that the best fun to have when talking about Zach Brown? So further just like strays being caught by people in court as they like, you know, go back and forth on how much money Alex Palou should or should not owe them in damages or whatever. And interestingly, apparently, Alex Palou said he signed this contract under the false pretense that he would get an F1 seat, which was kind of already known. But Zach Brown had been the main push for this, promising him that, you know, with time, he would get the chance to drive in the F1 car for, you know, McLaren and eventually maybe have a full-time seat. However, Oscar Piastri was signed into Alex Palou. He's a bit confused because, you know, Oscar Piastri is obviously a young guy, meaning like, what was the plan? If not then to give me the seat if you're signing another young guy. And Zach Brown apparently told Alex Palou he never wanted to sign Oscar Piastri. It was like a decision by other people on the team. It's kind of confusing to me. I am like, who's in charge here then? I definitely thought it was you, but okay. Interesting as well, because there's like all this drama going on with McLaren and F1 of like Zach Brown playing favoritism potentially towards Lando. It was also brought up that he apparently was a co-owner of Quadrant, which is Lando's like company.
Oh.
And people found that out through this lawsuit as well. And so they were like, this is like further evidence between that and like the comment that was made that he didn't even want to sign Oscar Piastri, that he plays favoritism with Lando.
Okay.
What
do you mean further conversation? He has tattoos of wins that Lando has. Right. Or of tracks that Lando has won at. And then you know what he did when Oscar got his first race? He wore a fake mohawk. Like,
that's totally
No, cool. I think it's clear that he likes Lando. I don't know where this discussion is coming from.
But I just think it's funny that like all these people that have never watched IndyCar before are like, who's this Alex Palou guy? And why does he have all these freaking rumors that we've never heard before? They're like, what is going on over in IndyCar? I don't know. I think that's funny. I think as like repayment for the drama that we've provided, all F1 fans should be required to watch at least one IndyCar race this season.
Yeah.
In oval.
I so wish this would have happened during the season. I know it couldn't have logistically, but we had such a bump in conversation when the Penske's cheated. Like, I had F1 pages on my TikTok being like, "You'll never guess what's going on in IndyCar. There are cheaters." And also, Roger Penske owns this series. Like, we would be having another one of those little boosts if this would have taken place like right before the Milwaukee Mile or something, lead them into something good. But we missed opportunity getting sued in the off season.
It's ridiculous. Watch what happens during like the NASCAR off season. People are going to be like, Michael Jordan owns a NASCAR team? What? He's suing NASCAR? What is going on over there? And we're going to be like, what the fuck, guys? Please.
This has been happening for years.
I don't know. Any other thoughts on this? Do you think that maybe as, what would the fit punishment be for Zach Brown for just being generally annoying to Alex Palou? Because Alex Palou owns IndyCar, so he's like kind of a king. He can strike him down however he sees fit. Dude. I think as one thing of, there was another thing where they apparently wanted to put Pato in the F1 video game for like people to play him because he is like, I guess like a reserve driver. They have some like reserve drivers and stuff in the video game. Is Fred Bestie in it? I don't know. I don't play it. But I guess I think that they wanted to do it just because he's such like a fan favorite. They were like wanting to put him in the game. And I guess I have to ask McLaren. And Zach Brown made a comment of like, I think it'll like go to his head. And like also it will like reaffirm this idea he has that he's someday going to get to be an F1.
Go to F1. Damn.
Which Pato's at home reading that and he's like, it'll go to my head. I'm famously humble for your fucking information. And second of all, what was that? I'm not getting an F1 seat? What the fuck is your problem?
Dude, as if Zach Brown wasn't the one who made the Pato Who hats. I'm like, oh, now we're worried about it going to his head?
Oh my God. But like, I also love just like how all of this, like, I don't know really what the plan is if you're getting sued, but I do kind of think like put less of this stuff in text message. Right?
Hey, if you're doing something nefarious, do it over the phone.
Like whatever happened to an old fashioned call? Because then like in court
phone,
they could
Snapchat.
Hey, can you check your snap real quick?
It's just like messages back and forth. Check your snap, Snapchat, check your snap.
My thing is like back in the olden days, they used to pull up call logs and they used to be like, you guys interestingly had many calls back and forth lasting over an hour. But it's like they didn't know what you talked about. No. They were just guessing. But like in the fucking WhatsApp, there's literally a WhatsApp where they're like, be sure to turn on your disappearing messages, please. Hey, everyone, check your disappearing messages so that we don't have to show this in court.
He's so, like, we have to get rid of him. He's so embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, God. All I saw was, he was, like, listing off people. Or what was the situation where they were listing off drivers where they're like, well, you could have put him in the car. And he was just kind of like, why the fuck would I want to do that? And they're all, like, catching strays.
Yeah. Poor Marcus Ericsson.
Marcus Ericsson. I remember Ryan Hunter-Ray was in that conversation. Like, it was just mean.
Yeah.
Zach Brown. Rest in peace, Zach Brown.
Yeah. I don't know, buddy. There's a poppin' Reddit thread on you on the IndyCar Reddit. That's pretty damning sign. You know what I mean?
Oof.
They're turning on you. The thing is, though, is that, like, this still, like, in my heart, I'm like, there's still something promising there for me with the Arrow McLaren team. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm like, Pato doesn't deserve this. He should have been in the video game. And I'm like, and now we're bringing Nolan up and how much he paid for his seat. It's like, what the hell? And then, like, Christian did the best he could this season. I thought he had a good season. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel bad for these guys because I'm like, you guys are next. You know what I mean? Like, they're about to start bringing up some messages that you're probably not going to like to see. There's probably a whole fucking folder somewhere that the lawyer's sitting on that's like titled Nolan Siegel, and it's like gonna be the most hurtful things you've ever heard. It's gonna be like, Zach Brown sent all these. I'm scared. Maybe we should settle, guys. Kind of like NASCAR, you know what I mean? And nobody really wins. Let's settle. I don't know. Anywho, the other thing about IndyCar is that there's testing today. Not too much out of the testing that I've seen. I saw that there was like a time in which Mick was the fastest time. He, I think, ended the day with the third fastest time. He was like 0.3 or something back from the time that Dennis Hauger put up, which was the fastest time. So now I'm like, who's in the middle? I don't know. Reporting is a bit spotty when everybody's just all excited that Mick's there. But I don't know. What were your thoughts on the spectacle that was Mick Schumacher coming to IndyCar? I mean, they really did it up for him. They had like a media bullpen. They did like some TikToks.
There's one of these every offseason. And suddenly a team who has not posted on social media at all during the season has like high production TikToks. They're posting multiple times a day, engagement through the roof. And then I guarantee we're just never going to hear from RLO again, just like with Meyershank. It's like, they did their big one and then they're done.
Did Logan test? Didn't Logan test in the offseason last year?
At Thermal.
At Thermal, okay, yeah. Because I remember, like, all of a sudden, I, like, kind of believed the hype a little bit because I was like, oh my God, like, they're, like, filming, like, these crazy TikToks of, like, Logan and, oh my gosh,
it's
he's
clout.
going to come to IndyCar. I don't know.
It's a clout grab.
Apparently, though, this test was fully funded by RLL. They were the ones who did the big push to get him out there. What do you think, if anything? So if they really were trying to find somebody for this like seat that they maybe want to kick Dev out of, like, why Mick Schumacher? That's what I just keep. He doesn't have any obvious ties with Honda. He doesn't have any obvious ties with RLL. He's never like outwardly even spoken about IndyCar before this in my memory. It just seems like so random that I'm like, how did this even like come to be? I know he was at the Indy 500. Maybe he was like bebopping around and they were like, what's up, Mick Schumacher? And then they just kept in contact. It seems kind of random, right?
No, I think he's the son of Michael Schumacher. He's unemployed. They paid for him to go out there. I think it's definitely a novelty thing because he's really truly never expressed interest in IndyCar. Like not to me, not outwardly.
Yeah, when we were talking,
he's never said it to us.
He never mentioned IndyCar once.
But we mostly just talk about K-pop, so I don't even know when that would have come up.
Yeah.
But
I think about that time his mom yelled at James Vowles. We just like reminisce on it, and then he like reenacts it, and he does like a voice. It's fun.
I think it is. It could definitely be big for RLL to have someone with that kind of name. And if they get rid of Dev, they're going to lose a lot of their the monetary value of Dev, which is about all the value of Dev. And so they're going to have to replace that some way. And what better way than Mick Schumacher? And if he is genuinely interested, then it's like, might as well snatch him up. I mean, what else is he doing? He does some endurance races. Yeah, he can still do that and do
also
IndyCar.
Those Alpines that they put him in for WEC. I mean, every time I've watched WEC,
they're on fire,
burning into flames. Yeah, I'm like, I get it, buddy. You want to get out of here.
And the RLLs famously, I can't even name one time any kind of damage happened to any of the RLLs this season, specifically the one that he was driving today. I can't think of it.
No, it's a scotch-free record, really. The only time it's ever been on fire is when we go, whoa, these guys are on fire out there. In like the way of they just all made the Firestone Fast 6 inexplicably at the Indy Road Course. You know what I mean? Like That's more of what we mean when we say they're on fire.
Wow, they're on fire. They say one Saturday a year. I don't know. I think it could be cool. If you are listening and you are a big fan of Mick Schumacher and you're like, okay, if he goes to IndyCar, I'm going to get into IndyCar. I would say you should get into IndyCar anyways. You should never rely on a man. And I would just just keep in mind that sometimes these tests happen and that they don't result in anything immediately. And that's okay. You can still watch IndyCar.
We'll find somebody different from you for you.
If you like
Mick
Mick Schumacher, who should you cheer for? Roman Grosjean.
No. If you like
I think that's pretty 1-to-1.
No. If you like Mick Schumacher, you should cheer for we don't have any other young German men, unfortunately. Do we have any other Nepo babies that we want to like specifically shout out?
Do any more Nepo babies? Yeah, sure. Graham. If you like Mick Schumacher, you're going to love Graham Rahal.
They're like really the same in a way. If you like Squint, kind of.
And if you're concussed.
Which you might be, and that's good. You know what I mean? We'll go with that. Yeah, you could go with either Roman Grosjean or Graham Rahal. Two of the grumpiest fucking old men out there. You can go with them. They have the same energy as Mick. The delightful ray of sunshine that is Mick. He's just like these grumpy old men.
There are a bunch of like young guys in IndyCar that you could easily find one, and he could be your Mick Schumacher if Mick Schumacher does not end up in an RLL. But also, here's my issue is like, I like Mick Schumacher. I respect him. I don't want to put him in an RLL. Why are we cheering for that? I only want to see my worst enemies go into an RLL, and most of them are there.
If we're taking anybody, former F1, and putting them in an RLL, Daniel Ricciardo. Because, like, I think he would, like, kind of just give pathetic every weekend in a way people really vibe with Daniel Ricciardo. He would, like, serve sad into the camera. Nobody wants to see Mick Schumacher serve sad into the camera anymore.
I would like to see him happy for once.
But, like, Daniel Ricciardo, he's been succumbed to serve sad into the camera. And I think he could continue to do that at RLL in a way that would really push merch sales and definitely get the viewership up for the series. So for that reason, former F1 driver with no prospects getting back into racing, going to an RLL, it's going to have to be Danny Ricciardo.
All right. There you have it.
Or what if we just put Yuki in it? Because Yuki's definitely going to lose his job. And Yuki has a Honda partnership. And Yuki
I saw a Yuki commercial during football the other day.
What was he doing?
It was him.
Football?
It was him and Gordon Ramsay. It was a Hexclad commercial.
Yuki.
And I heard Gordon Ramsay and I was like, there's a Gordon Ramsay commercial during my 10 a.m. football. And then I look over and I'm like, there's a Yuki Tsunoda on my Gordon Ramsay commercial during my 10 a.m. football.
Dude, top 10 underrated video on YouTube is him and Scott Dixon trading cars.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think he would enjoy IndyCar. Once again, don't want him to go to an RLL, but I really do think he would. He has the crazy that we were talking about. Like, he has the oval crazy.
Absolutely. He would totally wreck he would be in a backup car at the Indy 500.
No, I don't think so. I think he and Robert Schwartzman, they have the same electricity in their brain. I think somehow Yuki Tsunoda would accidentally put it on pole. And I think it would be devastating for IndyCar because everyone would be like, it's just the Walmart Formula One. But I think it'd be really fun for us.
Wait, can we talk about that? The Walmart Formula One thing? Because I've been thinking on it, and it's like so dumb in so many ways because they specifically put the Indy 500 is Walmart
because
Formula
they don't know the Duck. And I love the Duck, so it's really hard for me to talk against it. But the Duck didn't do any research as to what series races at the Indy 500 because they were playing in Indiana. So they're like, we'll hit them where it hurts at the Indy 500. But it's like, well, IndyCar is like, in Indy, like you could have said IndyCar is the
because like Indy
Walmart
500
F1.
Is the Walmart
that's a race.
F1. Yeah, and it's an oval. It's not really comparable, right?
So I don't think he knew what the Duck. I don't think he knew what IndyCar was. He did. Does the Duck have a what?
A name.
I don't know. It's none of my business.
Okay,
but
continue.
I think the duck knew what the Indy 500 was, but does not know what F1 is, which I think is more of a slam dunk because clearly he should have said like, what should he should have said Long Beach is the Walmart version of Singapore.
Monaco, maybe.
Long Beach? No, there's more overtaking. Detroit.
Well, see, now you're biased. Now you're bringing bias into it. I'm trying to give them a slam dunk of like an unbiased observer could look at Long Beach and be like, I could see how this is similar to Monaco, but like a Walmart version.
Reading this, you're understanding that the person is an F1 fan and that they're trying to dunk on IndyCar. So if they are an F1 fan, they would never compare anything to Monaco because Monaco's a fuck-ass race at this point.
Yeah, they would take the L and they'd be like, yeah, everything is better than Monaco that you're showing me. We would show them like so Long Beach and they'd be like, this is so much better.
Right, so they'd never make that comparison is all I'm saying.
I know, I'm understanding. But Singapore also sucks. So like especially we just had Singapore and it's fresh in everybody's mind how much it sucks.
Name an F1 race that doesn't suck. Name an F1 race that doesn't suck challenge. Go. No, seriously, give me one.
Well, a street race that doesn't suck, that's tough. I will say though, I do fuck with Vegas. I think Vegas gets overhated. So if you came out here and you were like, see, but like F1 or IndyCar doesn't have like a sexy night race.
We don't have a night race. Well, until we go to the night race at the Roval.
Which is
and then they could say
by us.
They will write, his sign will say, the IndyCar night race at the Roval is the Walmart version of the Las Vegas GP.
The Heineken F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix because we're using full government.
And you know what? I would egg on my face, you know? Like, yeah, it is.
You got me.
The Roval isn't even a street course.
No. What was making me so mad, though, about this is so this girl posted it on TikTok. I don't even know who she was. It just like came up on my thing. She wasn't like a motorsports content
I saw
creator.
that you commented on it.
Yeah, I did. I was pissed. I was like, the duck doesn't know fucking wheel. Clearly, the duck doesn't know wheel. But then I was like getting rage baited. And like that's the thing about me that's so annoying is I'm so easily rage baited. Like I really, truly am. It's like one of my biggest weaknesses. I can be rage baited pretty easily. And somebody commented something that I've been thinking about for a full 24 hours. They said, anybody who's mad at this has never even left their hometown. And it had like 60 likes. And I genuinely was like trying to figure out what 60 likes that is meant.
Not a lot.
Okay, but I only had 10. So it was like really ratioing me. So I was like, what does that mean? Like liking the Indy 500 means that you've never left your hometown.
I think
it makes sense.
I understand the direction that it is going, but once again, I think that it fails. I think you should have gone all the way and said what you mean to say.
Which is?
I
What do you think the hater was trying to say?
Something bad and mean, definitely. But it just, they didn't full send it. Yeah, they could have gone more in that direction. It's like, have never left your hometown. Well, sorry, I'm not rich and famous, and sorry it's really affordable where I live right now.
No, me getting mad. Actually, I'll have you know, I left my hometown and I still like the race. Take that, bitch.
Gosh. Also, there's nothing wrong with Walmart. It's affordable, it's cost effective, it has everything you want. You can buy groceries and also fishing supplies.
Yeah, he should have said like Timu or something. That would have been more funny.
Yes, dude. Okay,
so
we gotta get on college game day.
We're rewriting the sign for college game day, and it says the future non-existent night race at the Charlotte Roval with IndyCar is the Timu version of the Heineken F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix street race with this featuring the sphere.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Room, if we have room on the sign, we can take off the sphere part if you want.
Right. We can have it like drop down or something. We could add on some construction paper.
Yeah. So, thanks guys for helping us with that one. Glad we came around to it at the end. Yeah. And I think the duck lost his fucking game. Also, that video of the duck losing his head earlier this year makes me laugh.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
He had to run away in shame. That was so funny. So, freaking take that, loser. Got him.
Okay, also, one more thing.
Right.
The Oregon Duck, is Portland in Oregon? Because doesn't Portland have an F1 or an IndyCar race? So shouldn't he be a little bit more loyal to IndyCar?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a fucking bootlicker. Lame ass weirdo.
Grifter.
Yeah, he's probably, dude, one of those like fucking Antifa ducks or something. I don't know, man. He's just weird. He's just a weirdo. I don't know. I don't like him. Honestly, we got to take care of him. You know what I mean? It's such a stupid football program too, because they always have like new jerseys for every freaking game. And it's like, you can only do that if you're going to win. You know what I mean? Nobody cares.
Sure.
If you're going to be bad, nobody cares what your outfit looked like. Don't aura farm on me. I don't want it.
Don't aura farm on me. It's like, don't tread on me, but it says like, don't aura farm on me, and it's just the Oregon Duck.
Yeah, take that, Oregon football program. Don't freaking aura farm on me. It's not allowed. I also want one of those flags that says like, come and take them. And it's like red dye 40. I've been thinking on that one for a while.
That's good. That's good.
That's good. That's good. Do you guys, I kind of feel like, do you think that Mick is like kind of aura farming a little bit? Because I saw a bunch of pictures of him at the testing, and I kind of feel like he just wanted like that single-seater aura farming opportunity. That's why he took the offer. You can't really aura farm in WAG. Are you Googling what aura farming means?
Mick Schumacher is 26 years old?
Old. He's too old. He can't learn how to do IndyCar. Old.
He can't aura farm. He's old.
Wait,
he's too old to learn IndyCar.
We're the same age. Am I too old to aura farm? Guys, be honest. Guys, be honest.
Put in the comments below, do you give Andrea permission to aura farm? I do not consent to it. He's also 5'9", March 22nd.
Short and
okay. I just want to see how old he was, because I was like, is he like youthful? Like, wait, isn't Robert Schwartzman also around that age? Is anybody young anymore?
Robert Schwartzman's definitely younger than us.
Well, yeah, but like, we're old.
Too old to even aura farm.
Too old to aura farm. He's 26 too.
He gave like younger than that, in my opinion.
He absolutely. I would have been like, him and Nolan Siegel are the same age, like 14. 15.
Nothing's like more upsetting and makes me want to puke more than when I remember. I think Cole and Herta and like Renus and all them are younger than us. Yeah, they're so disgusting. What if I throw up? Wait, how old is like Kyle Kirkwood?
I think he's younger than us too.
No, Kyle Kirkwood's a 26-year-old man. Has to be.
He is 26. Oh, his birthday's October 19th. That's on Sunday. God. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, we're not doing that. How old is
Yeah, no, let's keep going. Might as well.
How old is the youngest person ever? I'm 4 years old. Wow, you're the
youngest person ever. This is so stupid, dude. We haven't even made it to any of the actual races last weekend. Oh, God.
Kyle Kirkwood, how old did you say he was? He was 26, so he's turning 27 next week.
Yeah.
Fucking old, dude. Just old like you. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are both old. I'm pretty youthful, so I wouldn't really know how that's like. Right, guys? I'm youthful. Yeah, it's just upsetting to me generally how young Colton Herta is. It genuinely kind of makes me want to puke. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know they let minors fucking operate vehicles.
He's 25.
Dude, that's so young. Like, don't you kind of feel like you want to puke a little bit? Or is that just me? How old is Renus? Renus is what? He just turned 19, probably.
He's 25. Born on September 11th, 2000.
Whoa, makes you think. That's so crazy. Whoa. Why would you say that to me while we were recording? You knew I was going to say something problematic.
Because it literally says 25 years right below it in giant letters. It says September 11th, 2000.
That's so crazy. Dude, he doesn't even
should
know.
Should we start this podcast episode over?
No, he doesn't even know what life is like without TSA.
Well,
there's always been TSA.
No, he probably does. Is he born and raised in America? I don't think so.
They have like equivalents in other places, MJ. Don't be so close-minded.
I don't know if not the way we have it.
Well, they just like also don't have like guns and stuff there, so they have to like do less checks. But like, still the same idea remains.
Dude, going through TSA without like the threat of a gun is just like it's just going through like a scanner. Like it's like not that big of a deal. It's like you probably don't even have to take their shoes off.
Dude, you just like don't know what it's like to have way too many toiletries in your bag and just like praying and hoping that they're not going to check.
Please.
You don't know what real struggle is, MJ. Just admit it. You don't know what real struggle is like. I don't think we need to start the episode over. We just need to move on quickly. NASCAR.
Can we? Yeah, timestamp right here. Back on the rails.
Back on the rails, girls and boys. NASCAR. You know what I mean? It starts off with stage one, the big moment. Stage one, our playoff driver Ryan Blaney. Thank you for muting while sneezing. That was so considerate. I don't even have to edit that later. That's beautiful.
I was coughing.
Oh, same difference, really. Ryan Blaney spins because his like tire goes down. And he hits the wall. Guess what he does? Fucks a toe link. You're not coming back from that, buddy. They literally get him out of the car. They're like, we're going to go down to pit road and see if they can fix it. He's climbing out the car. You can't fix a fucked toe link, Lee Diffie. I don't know if you're new here, but if he fucks a toe link, you're done.
Lee.
But obviously the conversation is like, it's not really a great place to be as far as playoffs go. He like pretty quickly is at the bottom. Pretty far.
But Lee was quick to remind us that the next two tracks he's actually really good at, so it'll probably be fine. Lee Diffie was really on his, no, it's going to be fine. Like, don't worry, guys. Like, everything's fine. He was big on that this weekend.
Yeah. He is good at Martinsville. He be making out with that clock, bro.
Sure.
He be macking on that freaking clock.
Bye, Andrea.
I have like flyaways and they're bothering me, so we're just gonna do
that. Sure.
He be macking on that freaking grandfather clock. So do you think that we're gonna see him make out with that clock again this year? Do you think he's gonna make out with the grandfather clock? Yes or no? What is new to you? You don't know how to answer a question?
Does he have to win it?
Is he going to make out and make love to that grandfather clock?
Do I think Denny is going to let him make out with his grandfather clock? Probably not.
No, Denny, now that he's like, spoiler alert, he's locked into the Final Four, I think every Penske, he's going to like fuck them up the next two races. If you're a Penske, be afraid. Yeah. He's like literally going to end your life.
He's got time.
Yeah, the only one that's safe is Austin Cindric. He's going to be like, Austin, I'm going to use you to destroy them. He's like literally like using Austin as like a bowling ball to take out the rest of the Penskes. He's going to be crazy. So you don't think he's going to mac on the clock?
No.
Rats. What's the other race?
Talladega.
Is anybody good at Talladega, or is it like you're just like kind of
no? See, you just have to, and we've talked about this famously. The thing with super speedways is you just have to put yourself in the mix.
Right. And if you win the race, then it's because you were in the mix. Even if you won from like 8th place because everyone in front of you crashed, that was actually you being in the mix.
You were in the mix. Yeah.
You knew
because anyone can win from anywhere.
In the mix.
Cody Ware in a P42, and we're like, well, first of all, there's not even 42 cars out there. He's probably in the mix.
He's in the mix.
He could be in the mix. I hope that you find yourself in the mix this weekend.
Guys, who do you think is in the mix for Talladega? Go ahead.
I was going to say, who wants to hold hands in the mix?
Who wants to... Do you guys want to be in the mix together? It's like this hot new club. It's like this hot new club. And so basically you walk in, there's like a guy, he's like making out with the clock, and that's like part of it. You know what I mean? It's like
he's in the mix.
He's in the mix. Yeah. And you like walk in, and like Ryan Preece, he's like doing flips, like back flips, but also his car is flipping, and that's like part of the mix. You know what I mean? And then it's like
you'll find that in the mix.
There's like 100 posts on social media about what a drunken mess the Talladega infield is. And it's like really just like such a representation of the mix. Tag yourself. I'm in the mix.
Check in.
Yeah. Check in. I'm in the mix. Who's in the mix, guys? Who you guys think is in the Talladega mix?
I'd like to see Ryan Preece win it.
You every weekend?
Dude. Every weekend I go into Slide Job Sal's, or every week I go into Slide Job Sal, whoa. Never mind.
Was he shelling seashells by the seashore with Shally?
He was shelling seashells by the Slide Job.
Do you remember when we found out what a slide job is?
I have a video of me figuring out what a slide job is, and then everyone in the comments going, that's not a slide job. And I go, okay, never mind, I don't care anymore.
You guys fucking discouraged her to learn more, so she's out. Okay, so you go in Slide Jump Sal's live every week, and
his
you say
morning
Ryan Preece
show.
is going to win.
I go, Ryan Preece win this weekend, clock it, and sometimes I'm close. He always goes, you were close the last time you guessed. And I am always close, but because remember Ryan got disqualified at Talladega earlier this year, and it took me down from being second place overall and grid rival, and then I've just never
really recovered. Does he only go live on Mondays?
No. We
got to go in his next live and be like, who's in the mix?
Who do you think's in the mix? He's not going to get that.
Sal, be ready to be harassed. We're going to come harass you in your live. Buddy's going to like be texting him right now. They're going to harass you, Sal. Be careful.
They said that you were selling seashells.
Speaking of always being close, SVG had a great weekend until he didn't at all. He was having like a really good time. Everybody was like doing the thing where they're like, has he discovered how to do ovals? Now I'm gonna be honest, I didn't listen to any of it with commentary because I was like on live or on FaceTime with you at that time. So I didn't actually hear what happened. I just saw what happened and I came to my own conclusion. It's Ty Gibbs's fault. Was there a different conclusion that other people came to? Not that I really am gonna change my thoughts on it, but just to get him in the mix.
Get him in the mix. I think wasn't it the 20 who was also there? I don't know. It was a lot of fuckassery happen out there. And then they took out SVG. He was wearing this sexy little black number
costume. Yeah, his little black dress.
It was cute.
Lee Diffie was feeling it too. Lee Diffie was like, everybody, let's zoom in on that sexy car. Let's zoom all the way in. He's like directing the TV director. He's like, I said zoom in on the sexy car, please. Yes, that one. But
it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, he was having a great time, and then he spun. But it is interesting. He's been doing like so much better since he got kicked out of playoffs brutally. And I am kind of like, did he just need like the pressure off of him or something? Because he's been like the highest qualifying Trackhouse car the last couple weeks. He's been like, rocking a top 10. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I think that's pretty impressive for a rookie who's not drove ovals before. I think his rate of improvement is commendable. I do think that there's something there. I think it's interesting.
No, yeah, keep your eye on this space. I think SVG is going to be a good race car driver one day. Keep your eye on
If he
him.
keeps at it, you know what I mean? Maybe someday he'll make it.
Don't give up, bud.
In the big leagues. Keep your head up. We also had Ty Dillon spin, and no, that's not true. He went to go pit and just got absolutely wrecked by William Byron, who didn't even slow down a little bit and just did not realize at all that he was going into the pit lane and just absolutely smoked him, destroyed and totaled both of their cars. Now, William Byron is obviously also a playoff driver. Ty Dillon is the famous in-season tournament winner, so we know he's extremely talented. And
he didn't win. Don't rewrite history.
Okay, then he's trash. Sorry. Jeez, I fucking take it back. He's actually ass at driving. And so what do you think was going on here? Whose fault is it? Who do you want to blame? Do you want to say that William Byron's an idiot? Do you want to say Ty Dillon's an idiot? That seems like what we're kind of going with in most of the discourse online.
It sounds like it was just like spotter miscommunication. I was watching. No, I wasn't. I saw a clip of door bumper clear. Let me get this fucking straight.
That's about all we need. You know what I mean?
And I think it's Bubba Spotter who is on that. He was talking about how the spotters will like give each other hand signals, which is like something I, after watching 50 races now, had zero idea that the spotters even acknowledged the fact that there were other spotters up there. But he says that it could be possible that because Dillon was pitting outside of any pit cycle because his car was an absolute junker, that maybe there was like a hand signal that happened where instead of it being like we're gonna pit, it looked like we were gonna give you the low line or something like that. It had to have been some kind of miscommunication because William Byron says he didn't see Ty Dillon signal that he was going to pit. However, even if Ty Dillon was down on the white line, which is what a lot of people are faulting him for, he still would have been absolutely fucking plowed into by William Byron. Right. I think it was just a shitty miscommunication, and it was really sad to see William Byron after he got out of his car and he was like, I wouldn't have done that. Like if I knew he was pitting, I wouldn't have done that. I just didn't know he was pitting. I hit him so hard. Like I didn't know. And I was like, it did make me a little sad for a minute.
It's also like, yeah, that's like detrimental situation for the playoffs. Like it's like bad, him and Ryan Blaney are in a bad spot. Like people are racing harder now than obviously they've raced all season. Like you're not going to very easily get back up past that playoff cutoff line unless literally like there's a big one at Talladega that you somehow
that's the thing.
Escape.
And William Byron has put himself in the mix at a super speedway before, might I remind you. But it's like that's one of the worst parts of us going to a super speedway after a race like that is because like super speedways and these cars are so unpredictable. It's like it's, in my opinion, it's similar than being like, okay, we're going to the Roval now. It's just like anyone can win. I mean, sure, you do need some talent on super speedways. Like people be like, "Oh, he's really good at super speedways," but it's really just a crapshoot. And I do feel for the guys who had a rough Vegas, and they're like, "Great, now I've got Talladega and Martinsville." Not Ryan Blaney, he's fine. Apparently, he's good at both of those, but William.
The literal thing that they're going into next weekend hoping is that like a fuck ton of other playoff drivers get smoked in a giant crash and then they somehow like hero drive their way through the crash without getting hit at all and getting any damage. That's basically their like, at least for William Byron, because I don't know if like the chances of William Byron winning Martinsville are very high considering last year he was almost out of the Final Four and was like rocking like a pretty low place in Martinsville, and they literally had to do race manipulation to get him into the fourth.
Bring back race manipulation. Stop. We have to bring back race manipulation. What is the purpose of the playoffs if not to have some race manipulation? Oh, it's great for TV. You know what's great for TV? Cheating. Like, famously, do you remember Scandival? that fed families for years.
I literally started watching Vanderpump Rules because
I did too.
Gotta know what this is about.
If we have some cheating in the playoffs, people they're gonna start watching. The playoffs don't mean anything anyways. NASCAR isn't real. Like, might as well let them race manipulate. Cheat. And I think you should call them out if they're cheating, like, badly and be like, okay, well, that was pathetic and lazy. Like, I think there should be a spectrum, like a scale. And I think if you're doing a good job of cheating, if you're wearing little finger gloves, like Joey Logano does, it's like, get creative with it.
Codes. I like speaking in codes.
That's like good.
After the Roval, they were like talking on the radio and they were like, Cole Custer's spotter, are you wearing your Apple Watch? And then he like checked his Apple Watch and then he was like, all right, we're going to save tires on the last lap. Okay. Just save your tires. Don't pass anybody. Save your tires. I think that's so funny.
No, it is really funny. And maybe I've just been in so many situations because, like, girls are like, okay, like, before we get in there, like, what are we going to say if, like, this happens? You just get accustomed to being like, I have to use code words. I have to make sure that they fit nicely into the conversation. It's very clear to me that some of these spotters who are trying to manipulate these races, allegedly, have never found themselves in a situation where they had to perform.
No, I think that should be our new code word when we're like in a social situation at a race that we really don't want to be in. I'm just like, do any of you guys have an Apple Watch? What do you guys think about them? I'm thinking about buying an Apple Watch.
But then what do we do? Because you like fully start a conversation with someone. Does anyone have an Apple Watch and we're just walking away?
I think I'm going to go buy one right now.
I've made
up my mind.
Where's the nearest Best Buy? I gotta go.
Do you guys know where I could purchase an Apple Watch here at the track? Maybe? Do you guys think that they sell them? I better go check. Okay, I'm going to go buy. Look. And if we use that in front of you guys, you're being weird. That's a good code the other way. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I was talking to the Labs Down girls and then they just brought up Apple Watches and then walked away.
Don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally. We're just kind of weirded out in general by a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's really nothing. Don't sweat it. We're going to save tires for the last lap. I started saying that. What are you ladies up to tonight? We're probably going to save tires for the last lap. That's code for not hang out with you. We're not hanging out with you. Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. I like it. Okay. And then just another note I had. So they talked about how apparently Vegas is one of those tracks where the freaking pit boxes are so slippery. And so Chase Elliott slithered right out of his pit box and they were talking about it. And they were like, oh, well, like you'll see sometimes like they'll like crack open a can of Coke and just like put Coke down because they can't use anything to chemically make it stickier. So they'll just like use beverages. And I was thinking like, oh, they definitely use Coke because he's like a Coca-Cola driver. Which drink sponsor in NASCAR do you think would be the best for making your pit box sticky? Like we have like SVG with Red Bull. You have Ryan Blaney with Body Armor. You have all of the various Coca-Cola drivers. You have Ricky
Prime.
Stenhouse Jr. I think has like
the Sunny D.
No, he has the syrup car, the Hungry Jack.
Oh, the Hungry Jack car. That would be good.
That would be so good.
But yeah, like, I think if not Coca-Cola, just put in straight syrup. He doesn't have any beverages though. Unless you're like crumble cookie dust.
What's going on over in that pit box? Oh, those are pizza rolls. Yeah, we just kind of put them everywhere. Just to see.
Those are sprinkles. Those are mini muffins.
Yeah. And I bet it works. I genuinely think though that like I kind of think Sunny D would be the best because like you get something like that on your hands and it's so
straight sugar.
Whereas like Coke doesn't really do that.
Oh, I think Coke definitely does that. I had to clean up like 4 cans of Coke at work today. It definitely gets a little sticky. I definitely think if I drove my Ford Focus through it, I would have stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we're missing something obvious. Maybe some folks will have some thoughts, but I just thought, yeah, they probably do have to use their drink sponsor because like they like literally have to do everything for their drink sponsor. Like I literally am like, can we get SUG some water? Is he allowed to drink water? Like I'm like, stop giving him Red Bulls, please. I don't know. Anywho, Okay. Everyone brought their sexiest cars. That's just a note I had. I just wanted to say, like in Las Vegas, we had a lot of sexy cars. People were bringing their one-offs. We had Denny, who won, of course, in his beautiful purple car. We had normally Alex Bowman has a purple car, but this week we had him in a sexy green machine, all about mental health awareness. And there's nothing sexier than mental health awareness, really. You know? It's a sexy livery. We had the ugliest pace car, though. I hate that Supra.
I don't dislike the Supra.
We had a great car for Carson. There was lightning on it. We had Ross, of course, on that Tootsie's livery. Ugh, it's great stuff. Big fan of Tootsie's. And then Tyler Reddick, he had pink flames on his car. It doesn't really get better than that, folks. Shout out to Vegas. And then last but not least, Denny won the race. And it was very emotional. And
60th win, tied for 10th overall.
Who's he tied with, right? Like Kevin Harvick or something, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, a fellow podcaster.
Makes you think we're due for 60 someday.
Us next.
I don't know. It was really like, I genuinely was surprised by such like a positive reaction that he had. Even on like social media, people were like, I'm not a Denny fan, but like I genuinely want him to win this championship. And I think it's like people are starting to realize like he's genuinely like talking about like retiring and stuff like that. And we kind of just got here. But it was interesting, like seeing people that are like, I've been watching NASCAR for a while, and he's just like one of those guys that like we're gonna miss him when he leaves in the sport. Like he genuinely is like so good for the sport and stuff. And I'm like, dude, love this outpouring of Denny love. I cried after his win. I teared up. Come on, tag yourself if you teared up, guys. We all did, you know. But what do you think? Should people stop talking about him winning the championship? Do you think it's jinxing it? Should we all not look, maybe?
I think we should forever not look. Yeah, definitely don't look. If it seems like he's doing well, just don't look. But it's also like, it would be so hard to know when he's doing well because sometimes he just has like 45-minute long pit stops and I'm like, oh, they fucked it for Denny. And then somehow he wins. Oh, because he was on 4 fresh tires, saving tires for the last lap.
Gotta do that, guys. Every time. You gotta do that. I don't care what track. Give him the 4 fresh tires.
Give him the 4 fresh tires. It has now successfully worked twice recently. I'd like to see him go on and win Martinsville, and then I think the championship, if he's interested. I think that would feel really good considering we've been on the bandwagon this year. It would kind of feel like a win for all of us. Be like, I helped that a little bit,
I'm
I
part
think.
of the team.
Yeah.
So I have a dumb question. So if he like won, so obviously he won Las Vegas. If he were to win Martinsville, would he go into the final race with like a points lead, or is it like wiped completely clean and it's just whoever performs the best in Phoenix?
No, that's a good question.
All right. That was us pausing for somebody to answer it in the comments. Thank you, Kenton. I know it's you.
I know. It's literally Kenton.
Yeah, I don't know. He could just, win Martinsville for the love of the game.
I think, I'd like to see him get one of those fuck-ass clocks. They're not fuck-ass, but they are fuck-ass because it really stresses me out to think of where you're going to put those in your home.
Yeah. They really are like such a decor choice. You know what I mean? Like it's like you really gotta have the right home for it.
They're so big and they all chime, every single one of them.
Right. And the people that have them seem to get a lot of them because the people that are good at Martinsville are like really good at Martinsville. So they like have multiples. Would you rather have multiple of the clocks or multiple of the guitars or multiple of the swords?
Do I live alone?
I guess. I don't know. Sure.
Multiple of the swords.
For murder purposes.
For defense. I would feel a little safe if there was just like one sword in each room. And they'd be like, I'm just really good at Darlington. Is that where it is? Darlington?
Bristol.
Fuck.
Bristol.
No!
Bristol. Guys, she's revealed
What do you
herself.
get if
She
you
doesn't
win
know well.
Darlington? Nothing.
Fucking a Darlington stripe. Badge of honor.
That was a good one.
Thanks. Okay, IMSA. Dude, I had such a good time watching Petit. Really? I did. I was
at
plugged
work.
in. Yeah, I know. That's a bit unfair to you. Yeah, she was at work, guys. But I was plugged into Petit. I genuinely think it was like so much more fun to watch than the NASCAR race. I at one point had, not NASCAR, Xfinity, which is like rare for me. I usually love watching Xfinity, but I really didn't watch Xfinity because I like started watching it and I was like, it kind of feels like Connor Zilic isn't going to win, so I'm probably going to leave. And I did.
I'm going to clock out.
I think I'm going to clock out, guys. And I had such a good time watching Petit. I will say it was chaotic. There was right away on the first lap, like a crazy wreck that they had to red flag to like clean up. And I was like, oh, so this is what we're doing today. There was like open championships in all of the categories from what I understand. None of them were wrapped up yet. So it was like everybody was racing pretty chaotically. Such a cool track. So much traffic. It's actually insane. And I think it's like the perfect amount of time too, 10 hours. It was like just as it was getting dark. We had like 2 hours left on the clock. So it was really cooking. Just noticing some trends. They had a lot of problems with the logoed like styrofoam banners on the side of the road. Lots of people hitting those. Makes you think like, why are those there? I didn't really ever think about that until I noticed like several people hitting them. And then I just had to think like, what if we just didn't put those there? You know what I mean? Probably best. We had a crazy battle in the end. Cadillac ended up winning overall, but they were followed pretty closely behind by the Aston Martins, which kind of like were the talk of the race because they're a fan favorite. And I'm starting to come around to this. I think I need to admit my past wrongs. I'm starting to come around to the cars sound good thing. Like, people have always just been like, I like it when the cars sound cool. And they did a lot of car ASMR in the broadcast because they were like, you guys are never going to believe us. This Valkyrie thing sounds so sick. You guys got to hear it. And then the commentators would just be quiet for a while and they would just play car ASMR. And I kind of was like, I think I get it. I think I'm coming around to the car ASMR of it all. I think it doesn't really follow for me for like single seater cars. I don't really care like what an F1 car sounds like or an IndyCar sounds like, but like I get it when it comes to like NASCAR and IMSA and stuff like that. I'm like, the car sounds pretty cool. I'll give it that. Do you agree?
I agree that the cars sound cool.
You don't care though.
I don't think I'm not like sold on the we should have worse racing so that the cars could sound cool. But
that's fair.
I do think sometimes cars have the potential to sound cool. Never as cool as the Garage 66 American Thunder car driven by Jimmy Johnson. Never as cool as that.
And Mike Rockenfeller. He was there.
Yeah, and
love
Jensen
that guy.
Button. Love that guy.
Love that guy. Love that guy. Big fan.
Yeah.
That's where we once again plug the freaking video that we did on the American Le Mans movie. One of my favorite like little YouTube videos we've ever done.
That was really
fun. So passionate about that movie.
Yeah.
We also have some more movie clubs in the future, by the way, guys. We've had some requests and we've been like, we're going to watch these movies. I'm a little behind, but I will watch them, MJ.
I haven't watched them either. That's a good reminder. We have 2 weeks to watch them.
All 3?
Yeah, we said by the end of October, all 3. That was our deadline.
I gotta get off this call right now. Quick,
I gotta go watch.
Do Supercars. Wait, can I read our reactions to the Supercars race?
Yeah, of course. This weekend, Supercars raced their second endurance race, enduro race, at Bathurst, the Bathurst 1000. Very famous, very big. Well, most famous race ever, probably.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of kilometers. Miles. Who cares? Measurement
units. You still looking?
Yeah.
You're doing a good job. Do you want me to talk?
You texted me bright and early in the morning, and you said, "Oh no, Christopher Bell." And I literally went, "What happened to Christopher Bell at fucking 4 a.m.? What are you talking about?" You meant
it was a DeWalt car.
Yeah. Okay, so I said, "What's your final verdict on Bathurst?" You said, "Quote, this is from MJ. Too much water. Why are all my faves in the wall? What happened to wood? Yeah. And I said, we accidentally created the best motorsport ever, but it will only exist at 2 a.m. And those were our reactions.
Beautiful.
And I think that's exactly what you get from Bathurst. It was so chaotic. It started raining.
Dude, and it's it's already chaotic. My first note that I have written down, besides, I wrote down the name of Will Brown and Brock Feeney's car because I couldn't tell them apart. But in case you're wondering, Will Brown's car is Rhonda and Brock Feeney's car is Charlotte.
Wait, Brock Feeney's car's name is Charlotte?
Her name is Charlotte.
Do you think in like a Sex in the City kind of way? Because I
think it's named after the Roval.
Charlotte.
Brock Feeney, he loves Laughs Down. I know he does.
Oh my God, it's a girl.
It's a girl.
They're both girl dads. They're both girl dads.
No, literally the first thing I wrote down was going too wide in a mountain is something people go to therapy to stop dreaming about. It's so scary. They're like too wide for like 6 rows of cars. Terrifying. And they're just doing it for fun. Like no one's making them do it. And then the commentators are so like the perfect.
They're so funny.
Perfect broadcast. There was someone who hit one of the banners on the wall, and the commentator just goes, "Stop it."
Yeah, it was like they were like,
"You're gonna upset your headmaster."
Yeah, they were fighting too early in the race, and he's like, we got to go 1,000. It's too early. Stop it.
Why would you do that?
Stop. And that's what we said. Really, we said, stop it. It's scary. Don't do that.
Dude. And then it was going to rain, obviously, as Andrea said, and they bring out a weatherman who is just the guy that you see in the pits. He's the one who gets really close to the cars. I apologize. I don't know his name. But he's like doing his little fuel thing. He's showing us on his little like magic board that you have in like math class. He's showing us all the good stuff. And then it slides over to the weather radar. And all his commentary is he looks at it and looks back at the screen and goes, she's coming. And that's it. And then it cuts away from him. And I was like, okay, all right. That's all I need. Dude, it was just.
Yeah, I love how they were also like, okay, so it's like raining, I think. And I was like, is it raining? I can't really tell. And then everyone starts sliding off the road. And I'm like, it's raining. Surely it's happening. She's coming.
Pouring. And we had a really fun battle for P1 between Kostecki, Brody, a moment of silence for his race. And then this was as it started raining. And then some kid named Cam Waters is doing well in the rain. Immediately, I'm like, send that to the FIA. There's some hootenanny going there. Of course Waters would be doing well. Of course he would be. That man is semi-aquatic.
Dude, but Brody I bet he's like siblings with Percy Jackson.
You think he's a half-blood? Half-blood? Question mark?
Yeah, I think a term in endearment. It's not a slur. It's like
I was just nervous.
No, I get it. It's like a nerve-wracking term to say on the internet. I think it's acceptable though. Yeah, I think he's like Poseidon's son or some shit.
Yeah, he was cooking for a minute.
But what happened was Brody was in the lead, king shit, and then it started raining. And this is what they said. They said Brody had to be the pioneer. And he went a little crazy in a place where everyone subsequently did not go as crazy because they saw with Brody, it made him go off the road. And they were like, lesson learned, not going to do that. But Brody didn't have that luxury. He was going out into the great unknown. And then he was like really upset because he was in third. And so he was like, let me get back up into the front. And he did. Doing so was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was so scared. They were not on rain tires and we were just acting blatantly silly in a mountain, which you shouldn't do. And then he goes in, he gets his like tires and stuff like this. Was like a little bit later. And he like panics or something. I don't know what his problem was. And he just rams into the back of that guy. Why did he do that? And then they're like, you're going to get like a penalty.
Much later in the race. And this was after like he had issues.
Still was
they were like
kind of in the lane. It kind of like could have won the race at this point if he put his mind to it.
He was having like battery issues. They had replaced it once. We're possibly going to have to replace it again. They go in for a driver change. He gets in the car, comes out. It's like pouring wet. And once again, we are too wide in a mountain. And as they're coming up on a corner, he just like locks up to the gods. And it's clear he speeds up to get around these two cars next to him. Sure. That's fair.
Fair.
Unfortunately, he did not stop. And he just absolutely pummels this guy in front of him.
And it was very penalty.
It was a penalty. It was sad to watch. It was really sad to watch. None of our faves, I feel like, did very well because Brock Feeney, Brock Feeney did fine. Whatever.
He did end up in a wall.
He ended up in a wall.
In a way that was like in a community sense of like everybody was kind of getting into walls, you know what I mean? Like in a fun way.
Yeah. He was one of the late yellows because he ended up in a wall and they kept going, this has huge implications on the championship. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Did he not just like absolutely dominate the entire sprint cup series and now we're pretending like this is going to do it? Like he's literally fine. This is like the other week when we were watching and they're like, Brock Feeney might not get pole. That would be really bad. Someone else could get it. And it's like, why are you saying that? You stop. You know what's happening. Stop lying to me.
Don't lie to me.
Stop it. But he had his issues. I think he still ended up in the top 10. Whatever, Brock, you're fine. Will Brown, he had a bit of contact. He took another car with him off the track. He also was set with a penalty. This is going to be an interesting week for the Lucky Dog podcast. Can't wait to listen to it. He got a penalty.
Lucky Dog podcast? We talked about at one point naming our podcast that, by the way.
We did, but we thought it was too NASCAR specific.
Yeah.
And they don't even drive in NASCAR.
Dude, that's a freaking lore for you guys. We almost named our podcast the Lucky Dog podcast.
Lucky Dog. We did.
Dude, we should have fucking just taken the username and then forced Will Brown to buy it off us.
If you want it, you're gonna have to give us a Traeger for it.
Give us that fucking meat smoker, bruh. Hand it over. It's for the studio.
For the studio.
Dude, his the hood of his car came off at one point.
What so there? He got his penalty. Poor guy. And it's once again, they announce it to everybody. They go, hey, everybody, just letting you know, Will Brown got a penalty, 5 seconds for being crazy.
Major L.
Oh, God. He had a little bit of contact with someone else. He came out and had a little bit of contact. I don't think they showed it on screen. At this point, it was quite early in the morning, if I'm going to be super honest with you. And it just, like, the two little bolts on the not the driver's side. I can't use that in Australia. Whatever. On one side of the car, it hit it perfectly and it just flopped off and folded. The bonnet did. So that was a big oof. And his finish wasn't great. That's fine. Thomas Randall finished pretty well. I know he's one of your faves because you met him.
Thomas. Yeah, we're good friends. We chatted. Friend of the pod, kind of like how Buddy's friends with Dale Jr. I'm friends with Thomas Randall.
Thomas Randall. That's
similar
good.
amount
That's
of
good.
clout, really, when you think about it. What I loved about watching this, I've never noticed this in other endurance racing. So if they do it in other endurance racing, sorry for sounding stupid. It's kind of my thing. I love how they helped buckle in the driver that they were switching with. So they would like get out and then they'd be like, okay, like, let me help you buckle in, and go, okay, you're going to do so freaking good out there, dude. You're going to have such a good time.
They give him a little kiss on the helmet and they go get him, boys.
Go get him. Go get him. I just
It
love
is
that.
good.
They also had like the guy, Brody's co-driver, love his energy. He just kind of would like helmet on, shoes on, ready to go take a nap in a little leaning chair, which I thought was fun. We had that one guy who stopped for a beer after his car died. That was a hit
as the
and a hoot and a
broadcast,
holler.
his engine, I think they said, overheated, and he got out of the car, and there's like just mounds of people around him, and the broadcast was literally going, "How long do you think it's going to take until he?" And immediately he is handed a beer, and they were kind of like, "I was going to say that. How long does it take till he got a beer?"
That's honestly like he did it with such true. That was aura farming. He's who Santino Ferrucci wishes he was.
Wishes he was. Yeah, it seemed
he seems actually chill, and that beer seemed like in character for him. Santino's,
and it seemed like those people were happy to be around him.
Yeah, they had to put a fence between Santino and the people. They're not even safe from Santino.
He bites.
We're working on it, but he does bite. So got the fence here for your safety and his.
Did you end up watching the finish of the race?
I watched the finish, but not some of the things that happened between me falling asleep and the finish. But I did like the next morning watch the finish, just the finish.
Yeah.
Still insane. I know that it was like the same day, but I was like, it's still raining even back then. Even it's still raining and we're going to race for the finish right now. It was kind of scary because it was raining.
Yeah. And it was, I wish I knew the drivers better. I have to be honest. I do just watch the cars and then I watch like the two drivers I know, but I'm trying to get better at it. But the finish was essentially decided by a very contentious penalty. It looked like me trying not to be biased.
Let's just describe the cars. Yeah, you just tell it how it is.
The cars. I don't even. But like the thing is I don't even recognize the logo. So I'm like, it was the black car with a little bit of red and had a little bit of gold on it, and that car was coming in. It said 100 on it, and that car was coming in, and there was a car on its left, and they were coming into a corner, and it just kind of seemed like overshot the corner, maybe forced somebody off, but they were so quick. It baffles me at how quick SUPERCARS is. Like, that's a penalty. Like, that's clearly a penalty. We're not going to talk about it after the race. We actually know right now that that's a penalty. And so the driver in the lead for the last little bit of the race actually ended up third because of this penalty, which, I mean, my God.
Do you think
if that wouldn't break your heart?
Do you think that they're so quick on it because like Bathurst is such a big deal? They want somebody to get to do the podium celebrations and stuff. That's truly like the winner of the race. Like I'm trying to think like, would we do that for like the Indy 500?
No, I think the SUPERCARS, even when I was watching last year, they have it like written out what is a penalty. And so I think that's why it's easy for them to decide because they're like, well, if we see this happen, that's going to be a penalty. And I think that's just something that Formula One has never really dabbled in. They're like, we'll know it's a penalty when we see it.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about it after. Depending on how much money you're willing to slide under the table, depends on our answer.
We'll talk about it for a little bit.
I don't know. I am excited to listen to the Lucky Dog podcast because in a way, it's like the first time I felt like as a new SUPERCARS fan, I was like, my heroes, they're real human people as well. Like seeing like Brody like kind of drive like a maniac after the battery issue. I was like, dude, like chill out. Like you're like ruining your own race for no reason. And then like Will Brown was kind of driving like chaotically. It was very strange like seeing them like, you know, they're like, you know, never meet your heroes. You know what I mean? In a way, I was like, whoa, they're acting crazy out there. You guys are supposed to be the cool, calm, and collected ones. Like, what's going on?
Oh, I don't think they're cool, calm, and collected at all.
Act like you've been here before.
Yeah. Too bad. Rough races.
I think they should make Brock a host, by the way. My critique for the Lucky Dog podcast is I wish Brock was there every week.
A third host. Podcasts with 3 hosts are hard.
I just think that they would benefit from it. Or Thomas Randall. he just seems like he needs friends. I just want him to be part of the It Girl group.
The It Girls.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Supercars?
They call Winterbottom Frosty. I just wrote down a bunch of thoughts I had during the race.
No, I want to hear them. Go for it.
You want me to I could just like shoot through them really quickly? Okay.
Yeah, because I probably won't have anything insightful to say.
These aren't funny.
It's okay. Don't be nervous.
There was one moment when they were showing us, I believe it was Cam Waters in the garage, and it also said that Cam Waters was in the car. And so the broadcast, very sternly, like I felt like I was upsetting them. They go, "It's 2025. Seriously?"
Yeah.
And was very, and the amount of times they would call out Supercars for like issues like that, I mean, it made my life. Best broadcast ever. Yeah, I just wrote water succeeding in the wet, ... Typical. Am I right, ladies?
That's good stuff.
Typical. I like that Supercars does multiple mid-race highlights where instead of doing commercials, they'll just be like, all right, we're 4 hours in. Here are some big things that you missed. And they will also, and wait till you hear this, they always have a little camera for the on-track action. So it's not like you're just watching, like you get a side-by-side. Wow, that's crazy.
They're really cooking.
I really love there was a nice little radio lady, and I wrote, Andrea says she sounds like the little shrimp from Shark Tales. I assume she means with love.
Yeah. No, she was kind of like,
of course.
And then there was a baby, and then I'm trying to feed the baby. But like, she was like,
yeah.
I think somebody's engineer, like somebody's race engineer.
Yeah. No, she sounded lovely, and I mean,
really nice.
I felt very calm. They put a new battery in Kostecki, and the broadcaster goes, "Oh, what an awkward situation." And I just thought that was really funny because I was like, stop. Stop it.
They had to like really get in there to change that battery, and they were really hammering home.
Oh, no. Something you do not want to see. Oh, no, it wasn't the broadcast. It was the guy standing there in the... Yeah, because they have to like snake their body into the car to change the battery. He's like, "This is just something you do not want in this important race." And I was like, they're right there.
I think that
he should have been like, "Do any of you guys have your Apple Watch? Have an Apple Watch?" And they should have gotten the fuck out of there.
No, I love it when they have to do stuff like that. They do that sometimes in a NASCAR. Like if something's going wrong, like in the car, and then you get like the onboard shot, and you just see a man like on another man's lap trying to fix something.
Yeah,
I'm like, aw, he's trying to fix something. We'll leave him alone. Yeah, it's awkward for him. He's ass first to the camera right now, and we're all watching. I get it. He's feeling a little vulnerable.
No, I think those are all the good ones.
Would you ever go to Bathurst? If it didn't require flying to
Bathurst.
Australia. Yeah.
If it didn't require flying to Australia. Yeah, I would have to be like sedated, but I would love to go to Bathurst. I would go to Bathurst over I would go to the Formula One race in
well, with Formula One race in Australia, you get both. You get Supercars and F1.
Oh, you're right.
Because Supercars is like the support series. Which, like,
no, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Formula One is a support series.
Okay, you know how, like, all these other, like, Australian and New Zealand drivers have, like, a time where their paths have crossed with Supercars? It's just so weird to me that, like, there's never been, like, any indication from Oscar Piastri that he even, like, watches Supercars. Do you think he's just like hopelessly jealous of them?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard him talk about Supercars. I feel like, but the way he talks about how he's interested in stock cars, he's interested in NASCAR, bro, it's right there. Get into a supercar. You and Will Brown, one weekend, Bathurst 1000, could be fun.
Yeah. I love listening to, somebody commented a couple episodes ago about Apex Hunters podcast, because SVG used to be on it or whatever, and so I've been listening, and it's so funny because on that and Lucky Dog podcast I get such a taste of like Australian bias in F1, and it's so fun. They're like, no, I get Oscar did something wrong, but I think that Lando should probably have to die just in case. Thoughts?
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Well, even like Will Brown, when he posted that picture of Brock Feeney's car all smashed up, and he was like, this is not fair to Lando.
I love Australian bias in motorsports. I think it's really fun.
Me too. I feel like we kind of have Australian New Zealand bias, and we're not even from Australia, New Zealand. Do you think
that like we are like accepted in the Australian New Zealand motorsports community? Because basically all the drivers we like are Australian or New Zealand drivers.
I would love to, and if we're not yet, I sure would like to work our way there to build that trust, to know that we're a safe space.
There's a lot of bias happening here, and it's in your favor.
Yeah. That's always nice to see.
Yeah. Anywho, do you got anything else, or do you want to wrap it up? We've done a solid, tasteful hour and 40 minutes.
That's all I got. Coda this weekend. Haas obviously going to win. And also we have Martinsville. No. Also we have Talladega. Austin Cindric obviously going to win. It's going to be a really big weekend for me, so everyone clock it.
Yep. And if you guys are itching for more content from the Lapsdown Girls, be sure to check us out on the Lap It Like It's Hot podcast. We gave you some more. If you add that episode plus this one, you're at about 3 hours.
No, you're way longer than 3 hours. Did you see how long our episode was on Lap It Like It's Hot?
40.
It was like an hour 40. Yeah. But anyways, guys.
Yeah.
Stay in the mix.
You guys gotta be in the mix. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.